What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Smackdown review for December the 15th, 2023 from Greenbay, Wisconsin. I'm Macho Wrestling, Brett Mix. Hit like and subscribe if you have not. I do the Monday Night Wars and history of wrestling videos every single day. I'm up to 1996 now in the Monday Night Wars. It's great. I'm having a blast doing it. So if you don't want to follow along with that, I always stick update with Raw, Smackdown, and PLE events like this one. So I got a little bit of something for you for everything. So if you hit subscribe, I'd certainly invite you to do so, and I'd be very appreciative of that. So Smackdown comes to you from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And we're going to get to a quick 15-minute-ish review of this show. I'll try to keep it under 15. The show starts off with the tribal chief who says it's like Christmas. Well, first he says, Green Bay, acknowledge me. Then he says it's like Christmas, it's the holidays, it's time to celebrate. He calls himself a fair tribal chief. He says it's about one man tonight who sacrificed and kept us at the top of the mountain. If anything happens to me, it's this man who's going to step up, as he's the next in line to be the tribal chief. And then he went, Jimmy, join me in congratulating your brother. ... Solo. Reigns says, now you see, and then right when that happens, I hear voices in my head. Voices hits the PA, and Roman Reigns can't believe somebody's interrupting the tribal chief, as neither can Heyman. His eyes are beat wide, and we go to a commercial. We can't even get an opening segment now. Matches, it's one thing. Promos and entrance themes is another. We're starting to do it during promos. We're starting to do it during entrance themes. They need to get rid of this pattern. And it matters because it has a ripple effect on the show, the morale of the show. And soon it's going to affect other things too. And I'm sure it affects the ratings. Rating last week got a 2.2, so it shows the fans have a pulse. But Raw only got 1.5. And that was with Punk advertised last week and the 21st annual Troop show. So we'll see if SmackDown can even get a 2 this week. If they do, they'd be lucky to. Back from the break, Orton interrupted Reigns and stands opposite the Bloodline, who are in the ring with Orton, who just entered as we come back from a commercial. Fans in Green Bay give him a great ovation with Randy chants. Orton says for 18 months he's been thinking about what he's going to do and what he's going to say. And then he says, Roman, I'm coming for you. Roman looks at him like, you took 18 months for thinking about me? I didn't think of you at all. That was a good line. It starts tonight and it ends at the Royal Rumble, Randy Orton says, because I'm challenging you for the WWE Championship. As the crowd ooh and ah. Fans chant RKO. Reigns comes back with 18 months, and this is what you've come up with. Reigns says, it would mean retirement if we went at it. It's not 2000 anymore. He says, Orton, you're right. Orton says, you're right, you have changed. You're a legend now. Orton says, I've changed too, but I've evolved, and one thing I'll always be is a legend killer. Orton goes for the RKO and then says, maybe you should start thinking about me. And then he says, the voices in my head are telling me something, that you might have just crapped your pants. And then he says, and I'll leave you with this. Daddy's back. I knew that line was going to be marketable the second it happened. I bet you it's already on t-shirts and hashtagged in the whole 9 yards. Strong opening segment by Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. We didn't know if they were going to get an actual program, let alone face-to-face, let alone at the top of the show. But they did it, just like they did the Rollins and Punk for Monday. They had a pretty good Orton-Reigns interaction. Technically, Orton has done stuff from Drew. Roman Reigns says that Randy Orton hasn't won anything he didn't say he has won anything. He said he didn't deserve to be facing him for the title. Well, Orton's got the Survivor Series win. He's got the win last night over the Bloodline with LA Knight. And then he's got a big match with Jimmy Uso tonight. So technically he has won a couple things should Orton win. And they also could be a bonus clause in his contract for signing with SmackDown. So there's a lot of ways creatively that they could come up with Orton getting a title shot and have it be feasible and make sense. So we see a video package next of the NXT talent Carmelo Hayes, who HBK handpicked to take on Grayson Waller in the first round of the quarterfinal round in the number one contender for the U.S. title tournament. Grayson Waller takes on the man HBK named to enter this tournament, as I just mentioned, to face Logan Paul. I'm imagining at the Rumble is when it's going to happen. And we go to a commercial before the entrance theme of the NXT star. That's good because I'd hate to see 1 minute into the match. And chances are we're still going to get a commercial 1 minute into the match. Like I said, it affects the overall vibe and the story of the show. It's a ripple effect. Back from commercial and video package later, we got Carmelo Hayes. Hayes chops at Waller and gets an inside cradle out of nowhere. Side kick by Waller. If a knee to the head, a side kick Waller to the outside and now goes for a baseball slide. Nice sequence as both men dodge each other, showing great agility landing on their feet. Hayes comes back with a springboard elbow. And yeah, another commercial. Hayes connects with Waller bouncing off the side rope. A nice double stomp to the back as we see that it happened during the break. We wouldn't have known because it was a break. A flatliner and Grayson Waller hits a neck breaker to the corner. A Hurricane Rana and then a facebuster, but Waller kicks out. So Carmelo Hayes really with the high risk offense and impressive nonetheless. In the ending sequences, Waller with an unbelievable move that we don't know the name of, but it's sort of a modified inverted facebuster, I'll call it. A victory roll by Carmelo Hayes out of nowhere scores a 2, and another springboard DDT by Hayes almost put Waller away. Another springboard, but not one, but 2 springboard DDTs. A lot of flying around. The first 48, then Hayes from up top with the nothing but net, as Graves calls it, is a top rope famouser, which gets Hayes the win in a Smackdown debut over Grayson Waller, making it Hayes the one that's going to take on the winner of Kevin Owens and Austin Theory in the next match. I gave the match 2 stars and 3/4. Orton and LA Knight run into each other backstage. Orton says to stay out of his way, but they seem cool with each other. LA Knight tells Orton it's all about the numbers game with the bloodline, so he should be aware. Orton agrees. Sort of, even with his body language. It doesn't have to come out and say, LA Knight, I completely agree with you. Do agree. Number 1 contender title tournament for the U.S. title. Kevin Owens takes on Austin Theory. Owens has got a broken hand. Hayes meets the winner of this. Logan Paul in a cut interview says Owens dresses like a 5th grader who takes PE dodgeball too seriously. That was a good burn with that line. Side headlock takedown and Owens into an armbar. The Theory wastes no time going for the hand. He chops him with the left hand, does Owens. His good hand. Theory walks back into an elbow shot. A big senton by Austin Theory, who escaped the ring as the fans boo him walking away. Owens then from the outside apron gets a headbutt to Theory and then a cannonball to Theory off the apron to the floor. He's been doing that a lot lately. It's a great move. Owens fighting through a lot of pain and Theory hangs him up. Somersault in and drop kick to Owens. Theory goes for a suplex on the apron and hits it. That was nasty looking. We go to a commercial break. Owens then hits a high-risk frog splash but lands on his hand, so he couldn't capitalize with a pinfall attempt or a near fall, as that would have definitely been one. An inverted atomic drop, then a DDT, and one good arm by Owens, scoring him another near fall. Kevin runs into a boot by Theory in the corner, then he hits an amazing move, a seated springboard Spanish fly is what they call it. It gets Owens nearly kicked out. It gets Owens nearly down, and then KO kicked out of Austin Theory's awesome maneuver. Austin Theory goes for a downtown, but KO connected a superplex attempt and came off the top ropes with one. Theory then escaped the ring again, escaping danger. Owens, still holding his sore hand, grabs Theory but sends KO into the post, then to the guardrail, then a hard left hand to Owens. Theory wanting the kick out, but Owens just makes it in the ring and on time so there wouldn't be a count out. Theory from the corner with a blockbuster and another near fall on Owens. Fantastic action in this match in the end here as Kevin Owens is set up on the top turnbuckle and Theory lands groin first as Austin Theory is in a tree of woe. Upside down and downwards, Owens does a cannonball into the buckle. KO then near the end here. KO then off the top with a swanton bomb. Austin Theory kicks out a close near fall. Theory and Owens battle to their feet. KO goes for a stunner, the broken hand, and then Theory slammed it against the post, but back inside the ring, Owen knocks him out with the cast and goes for the pinfall and gets the win. I rated it 3.5 stars as Owens advances in the tournament. So now it's going to be Escobar and Lashley on one side, and then Hayes and Owens on the other side. The winner, I predict it's going to be Escobar and Owens, and then the winner will be Owens. That's my prediction anyway. We'll see what ends up happening in this number 1 contender U.S. title tournament. Then we get the vignette of a newcomer. I didn't see who it was. I had to step out for a second. Hayes says to Kevin Owens backstage he's not like Theory or Waller, but he needs to win more than him. And Kevin Owens was kind of befuddled. They show Charlotte Flair's injury up close. Then they show a damage control video package, and honestly, they need to get this group some wins. Just like their loss at Survivor Series to the Judgment Day, it was detrimental. They both need more wins to get them more over. I'm afraid the Judgment Day might lose to the Creed brothers, even though they're an awesome team. On Raw, I just feel that both groups, to add prestige to the groups, they need to be winning more. And more important, big wins. Next, we got the Kabuki Warriors of Damage Control versus Zelina Vega and Michin. Good tag team wrestling in this one. Zelina with a high knee to Kairi Sane. Zane hit it with an inverted DDT. A 619 by Kairi Sane. And tags in Asuka. Asuka locks in the Asuka lock on Zelina. Michin comes in with a modified spine buster. Damage controls Kairi Sane. Elbow the back body drop to Vega on the spine. Finds first on the table. Asuka dropped Michin and she goes up, and Dakota Kai and Bayley interrupt the match. Michin crashed and burned as Kairi Sane came off the top with the insane elbow. The Kabuki Warriors win a good match. I rated 2 stars and 3/4. Orton then took on Jimmy Uso in the main event. A very wrestling-centric show. Not a lot of promo work or promos that way, just video packages and matches. It's sort of like the old NXT. You can see the Triple H's footstep on this show, how he books. He likes to book wrestling-centric with video packages. And that's what we're getting tonight, rather than face-to-face promos. The two lock up, which is good for a change, but you don't want to make it every week this way because wrestling's about more than just matches. The two brawl outside after a commercial break again. Orton delivers a powerbomb to Jimmy Uso through the table. The fans chant one more time, and he does it again. Up top, he hits hard rights. Jimmy Uso hammers away at Orton with a corner splash. A running knee a la like Mick Foley with a near fall. Uso then goes for the count of 10. The shots on top of Orton with rights and lefts. Cole says Orton's in trouble as we head to a break. As Orton's back body drop. Orton comes back from the break and hits a DDT on Jimmy Uso from the apron. Orton then stalks Uso in the corner. The fans chant RKO as he stalks Jimmy. Solo Sokola's music hit, but then LA Knight did too. As a spike attempt tonight, he ducks and then he lands a BFT to Solo Sokola in the entrance aisle. RKO to Uso in the ring, and then the 3 count. Knight helped Orton against the bloodline here as Sokola wanted to spike LA, and he would have spiked Orton too if LA Knight didn't plant him. 2.5 stars for the match. Roman then came from behind attacking LA Knight. Then the two stared down Orton as Orton invited him to the ring. Fans chant Randy. Heyman lifts the title and says we don't need to come in there with a champion. It's pretty much what he's saying by lifting the title up high. Orton and Roman then get an exchange of right hands. Orton and Roman, but Jimmy Uso from behind. The numbers game comes into play for the bloodline against Orton. All of a sudden, LA Knight still down. Roman then gets attacked by Knight when he gets back up. Solo then attacks Knight. So again, it's 3-on-2, the numbers game again. The heels are in control. The fans boo as the bloodline look dominant to end SmackDown. All of a sudden, AJ Styles' music hits. And AJ from behind the ropes, behind the bloodline, comes off with a phenomenal forearm. AJ then joins Orton and Knight, and I'm thinking there could be a 6-man in the works. That's what I was thinking. That's not what ended up happening. AJ then attacks LA Knight with a punch and LA Knight sells the jaw, so never mind that 6-man talk. AJ then walks to the back and passes the bloodline, giving them a little stare. So this might start something with AJ and Knight. We'll have to see. Orton just has this shocked look on his face. LA Knight grabbed his jaw, and then they advertised a lot of matches for this week's Raw and next week's SmackDown, the holiday episode. Orton and Roman locking eyes, and more trash talk from Roman to Orton as this episode ends. I gave it a 5 out of 10, just a passing grade. I felt that, like I said, very wrestling-centric. You want to make sure if it's that, don't put promos in the middle of your only promo at the beginning of the show. Don't put commercials in between entrance themes. Don't put commercials in between matches 1 minute in like you do. There's so many places they could stick these commercials, but they're putting them, and then they're giving so much time to video packages. This is, you can see the stamp of Triple H's booking on this. I'm not saying he's a bad booker, but he's not the Messiah either that fans rave about. Nonetheless, I give it a 5 out of 10. And remember, I'm doing the Monday Night Wars to people if you're interested. I do the history of wrestling videos every day, so stay subscribed, notified. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next review. For the SmackDown review, December the 15th, 2023. wanted to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out. Oh, look, I said 15 minutes, and it's exactly that.